Brandi Short, and she is in Pasco County, Florida. She's the daughter of the former sheriff. And this is the sheriff prior to Chris Nakoa, right?
He was elected in 76. Yes.
In 76.
Yes.
And how long was he in office, your dad?
He was in office until 83. He was
He got
involved.
he got convicted of something. Just what was it?
It was he was found not guilty, but it was a special program targeting certain individuals for drug trafficking.
Okay. And so, did he take a guilty plea or?
No, he went to trial and he was found not guilty.
Okay. And so he doesn't have a felony.
No.
He's not in law enforcement anymore?
No, he tried to regain the office, but he never was able to run again. It was a nightmare, media scandal, lawsuit.
He was blackballed then.
Yes. I feel like the same thing that happened to him is now happening to me, and there are similarities in both cases here.
Your story is not totally unusual to other stories that I've covered. Excuse me a minute. I'm drinking beer as fast as I can. The former sheriff of Lee County, Mississippi, Harold Ray Presley. He is a cousin of Elvis Presley. That he was from Tupelo, and Harold Ray was went to a call. Several deputies were there, and it was too hot. A little bit overweight. Didn't wear his vest, and he was shot 6 or 7 times. Murdered. Stone, this individual named Stone, was the one pegged with the murder. And so it just so happened that a state trooper heard the chatter on the radio. He got there first and locked down the crime scene to preserve the scene. And he was the first one at Stone's body, and he put bags over his hands, for gun. And so when they did the forensics, Stone had never fired a weapon. There was no gunpowder residue. It was a murder. Harold Ray's son later was told by some members in law enforcement that they were going to kill him. He ended up getting some time in prison over it was called a depraved heart murder. It was a rage as infidelity with his girlfriend or whatever. And he was found hanged. And so the sheriff that's in there now, he has a stalking program. And the Attorney General of the state of Mississippi has emulated that statewide. And the odd thing about the sheriff, he witnessed his mother killing herself at 5 and his dad at 10. He was at both places. I thought that was kind of odd.
Right.
But he has, so one of the sons is, the son is dead. The daughter in and out of jail, issues with drugs and so forth. And the mother was locked up as well. So that's, you see what I mean?
Yes.
I believe that a lot of times that the sheriffs, they know everything. They know where the bodies are buried. And things are done to them and their family is targeted. Would that be a fair assessment to say with you?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Prior to to this, have you what type of work have you done in the past?
I have done title insurance, business, I local community. I tried to volunteer, but I can't even volunteer around this county now. It's
They
been
won't
months.
let you.
No, you're
So
right.
you're in Pasco County.
Yes, I am.
Oh my God. Uh, and so you just you don't have the money to leave. Is that
I don't. I'm kind of no, not
well?
right now.
That's why I'm in Mississippi. Okay. I would rather be in Naples right now. Actually,
Yes.
or in Fort Myers. My my mother's down there. That they was a Sanibel, but they're getting older. That's just too much upkeep. So they're right across the causeway there. But it's expensive,
Yeah.
to live in Florida,
Yes.
and the targeting is it's bad. And it's bad everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a chance to read that lawsuit, the first one that Institute for Justice did against Pasco County?
Yes, I did. I have it. I have things highlighted. I mean, it's
Now
I
there's four lawsuits now.
isn't it? Okay.
Yeah, and the DOJ is conducting a criminal investigation into NACOA. You can believe one thing, for misuse of federal grant money. I mean, this predictive deal where they're targeting the young children early as the second grade. So they punish them for crimes they have yet to commit. And so, and may never commit. So the saying is, the mantra is, I say it all the time, in Pasco County, Florida, and this could be any county, any state in the union, because this is all a derivative of community oriented policing, that you are innocent until predicted guilty. So tell me about what some of the things that has happened to you. You were on disability.
yes, for 13 years. This mainly happened with the sheriff's department. I actually escaped the police department of this little city in Pasco for various things. They come within 3 times in 24 hours, domestic violence. No, nothing even
So
done.
so it was, you were arguing with someone that was staying with you or something.
Yeah, it just, I mean, the things are ridiculous. When I was in Pasco, I was at a light and someone knocked on my window and said, I'm swerving. You're swerving, ma'am. You should pull over so you don't hurt anybody. So I think about it.
Really?
I'm like, well, see, this is me naive. I'm like, okay, let me do this. So I pull into the 7-Eleven and there is a Pasco County Sheriff's deputy right there for me, demanding I get out of my car. I'm like, I do it. And then they're like, Art, do you have any warrants? Any warrant? I'm like, no. They're like, well, we're gonna search your car.
No. You
Well,
you you know.
no. And then
Yeah.
they came back, well, you're gonna wait for the dogs to come if we don't search it. So I'm like, fine, search it. Okay. They
Yeah.
they walk around 2 times, they didn't find a thing, tell me to park my car. I do it. And then they tow it.
Imagine that. That happens to me. Now look, here's the thing, Brandy, is they will tell you they'll get the dogs, and you say get the dogs, and then they say the dog hit on something. Well, the dog's not out of the car yet. Well, he hit over the radio. Doesn't matter. So, in other words, the point is they don't care that they're breaking the law.
Yes.
This is standard business. Uh, that'll have to be sorted out in court. But meanwhile, you've been traumatized.
Yeah.
You've been abused. You have been financially dragged. Did they take you to jail? Of course they took you to jail. They towed your car.
Yes, they did this day, but I've been to jail 3 times. They naked, making females get naked in jail and sit outside for 15 minutes while they
Yeah, tell me
search
about
the
this, about the naked female deal
yeah.
and marching them, perp walking them, and all that. What is the deal with that?
When there was fentanyl that was snuck into the jail, it was in February of 2019. I was in jail for a violation of probation.
And
So,
so law enforcement all was high on fentanyl, and they made y'all get naked.
so no, someone snuck fentanyl in the jail, and I guess someone overdosed. So there was a lockdown. We were in our cells for the night, and they come storming in with their guns out, demanding that we get completely naked. And then
Men, was it men or all women?
no, it was men.
What?
Yes, they were. They were probably like at least 25, 30 of them that come in.
The
with their
men
guns
asked
out.
the women to get naked.
Yes, we had to remove our clothing and walk outside, sit there naked for about 10, 15 minutes, and then until they were done with the search and had us go back inside. That was offensive.
That is illegal. That is not acceptable
Yes,
under any circumstances that a male officer strip anybody.
yes,
Now, if they were concerned with you taking fentanyl or overdosing and they could have restrained you until female officers were there. That is uh, is way past inappropriate. This is criminal misconduct.
yes. And it was all of us. I mean, the whole entire pod had to get naked and go sit
So,
out
how
there.
did that make you feel about yourself to be subjected to that?
It was it's
Demoralizing, wasn't it?
dehumanizing, really. I feel like I have absolutely no rights. I
No
felt like
dignity.
they just, it was horrible. It just
What year was this?
I'm sorry.
What year did this happen?
This was 2019. It was
Oh, okay. So it
2000.
wasn't back in the 1930s. So,
No,
okay. Wow. So this is under the watchful eye of Chris Nakoa.
yes.
I don't think he's going to serve another term. I think he's going to go to prison, really, and I think some others will go as well. I think that's the only acceptable place for him. I mean, this man is insane. And the
Yes.
sheriff, I can't think of his name, Carmine Genovese. I don't know what it's Carmine something. He is the sheriff of Lee County, Florida, down there at Fort Myers, and he's a nut job as well. And he is a 3-letter agency implant into that deal down there.
I mean, it's
So
scary. It's scary. I mean, I look on my mugshot picture from the jail and it says that I have blonde hair and brown eyes.
it
I
looks
have
like you have
exactly,
blonde hair.
no, it's brown and I have blue eyes. It's
Okay.
exactly the opposite. So I don't know if they used my name in a different
They don't
body in
care.
their
Look,
action.
listen, those
Yeah, no,
people,
I know.
they don't know the primary colors. It's a very low bar to be able to
Right.
be deputized.
Well, I just didn't know if they were using someone's actions out there and putting them under my name in their profiling system.
Okay, so maybe they have. So what else how many times has Pasco County? Now you said you Baker acted yourself, or they Baker acted you?
No, my family did. My
You
mother did. Yes.
so you were going off the wall about what? About your targeting, I assume.
Yeah. Yes. And it's no one believes me. No,
And that is, listen, I believe you. Thousands of others believe you. You don't need to be validated,
yeah.
Brandi. You're
Yeah.
not crazy.
Yes. I'm
Now, with that said, I'm crazy. You're crazy. We're all a little bit crazy, but we're not nut jobs. And we are doing the best we can to articulate what is going on in our lives. Now, this program is built around a platform of chaos. It's not supposed to be, in other words, when you try to explain it to someone, it's confusing. This is from the Department of Justice. This is an effective stalking protocol. Okay, so this is not a Baker Act. This is the we make them. We do things, and when reported, They're paranoid schizophrenic. They're delusional. So, in other words, I always use this analogy. They haven't done this for as a person that thinks they did that. But for instance, if they had 40 people in giraffe costumes walking around my front yard, blowing horns and stuff, I'm pissed. I called 911. I've got a yard full of people dressed up as giraffes. Now, right off the bat, who sounds crazy?
You, yeah.
And when they get here, they'll probably leave. Hello. And so we're off to the races. Now, not only is that not funny, it is people that say, "What? I'm just driving by every day at the same time, or I just wear this red shirt. I just do this. It's not harmful." But what they don't understand is the victim is traumatized. The victim sees this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And what you're doing and participating in that you think is insignificant, you're actually doing the work of the devil. You are destroying another human being. And they're getting paid with taxpayer dollars. And I talk about these rats that somehow they always get to stay high and they've got carte blanche because law enforcement makes sure they keep all the dope they want. And all they've got to do is go out there and knock people's heads off. Somebody's trying to get sober and all that. They're sitting. I'm doing good. I've had almost 12 hours of sobriety. And then Lulu shows up and got a sack of dope. Don't you want some? No, really, I'm trying to quit. Oh, come on. I'm trying to quit. Twist my arm. And then she leaves. The cops come in. Bam. Possession, all this stuff. You go to jail. And Lulu moves on to the next deal. They manufacture these crimes. Do you see that same scenario in Pasco County?
Yes, absolutely, I do. It's just sad. I mean, everywhere I go, I literally can't go anywhere because it's like people tell me that they know what only I should know or what's happening in the privacy of my own home. But people telling me but they won't tell me how they know.
Well, look, don't worry about that. I always say this. Listen, I assume I'm being watched 24/7. Does it bother me? Well, I don't like it. But being that as it may, make sure, Brandi, that under that premise, give them one hell of a show. And I will promise you, don't feed into of trying to figure out who's doing what. I'm gonna tell you, it's easier to go to the head. You get the head of the snake.
Okay.
That's Chris Nakoa.
Yes.
That shit rolls downhill.
Yes.
I don't care how all these tricks and what they're doing. Now, people say, well, they're not watching you in your bathroom. Then okay, then I'll go for that. But let me ask you, what is more perverted? Someone watching me in my bathroom or someone that would like to make me think they're watching me in my bathroom? They're just as perverted. And so this is because your device is everything. Once you're targeted, you're marked, I'm marked.
Yes.
And so all this data in real time, they get it. They get your text, your emails. It's not hard for AI to kind of predict things. And so, but I can tell you this, they don't have mind reading. They're not reading your mind. They can't see through your eyeballs. And, but they are very intrusive. You have no privacy. Now, they can't arrest you or come in with a search warrant based on this because all this information is obtained illegally. So, and this is all this info from telecom, surveillance from the city, the traffic light, the surveillance cameras at Walmart, and Walmart is a stalking hub from hell.
Mm.
And you better believe that. They love the trick. And, during COVID, everything closed, but Walmart didn't. They closed the churches. People didn't say anything. Walmart didn't. Walmart became militant at this point. They had cattle gates and people live, where's your mask? And all this BS. First 12 months of COVID, Walmart made 1 trillion in profit. So it's pay to play.
Yes.
Now, they can't, but they have access to their cameras, so they know this using Walmart. They know if you was buying Max Factor or whatever else is in there, you're not getting Lancome. I know at Walmart, but so it's not rocket science, and so they get all this stuff illegally. But now they've got the roadmap of where you go, who you see, and what you talk to. Now they can say if you go to this house a lot, they believe there's drugs there. They can get a search warrant, and legally they'll get the search warrant. Well, they'll tell them lies, and they go in there. But how did you know about the house in the first place? Well, they found out through illegal means, and they're giving this information to their snitch culture. I've got a quotation on there that they want to militarize the police, and they want to turn the citizens into police and operating off of a snitch culture.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, Homeland Security, if you see it, report it. So once you're there, Brandi, it's not that you're a bad person. You're just on the list, and this is how they get paid, and that's what these morons do. They tell lies. So have you been victimized with the smear tactics, rumor mills?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, I was in the recovery community here actually, and I can't even go into a recovery community here without this happening. The rumors and
Of course not. I'm glad you brought that up. Now, folks, this is gold here. What Brandi's talking about is, in order for this is the holistic approach to community policing. That means everyone doing their part, including mental health. Mental health will say, well, certainly we think that treating people with mental disorders is better than throwing them in prison. Well, hell, we all agree with that, but this is not what it's about. In other words, in order for mental health, and they're building these facilities everywhere, they've got these 501c fake Christian cult boot camps. Got them all over Mississippi. I'm sure they've got them in Florida. And they know what the deal is. There's not one person, medical, legal, and in mental health, that are not aware of this program. It's usually the victim, Brandi, that's the last one to realize there's a name for this deal. You knew there was a name for this deal, but you had no idea it was this damn crazy. No. And every time you try to tell somebody, this is what we're going to do with her. But when you're at your wit's end and nobody believes you, that's not the best option. To get a pound of blow and snort lines from Key West and back, although that sounds tempting, but that's what it does. Is it drives people, and they said, well, they have. Everybody's telling me I'm crazy, and eventually it irritates you. It hurts your feelings, and then you begin to wonder. They're in on it, and so. And then you're thinking the whole world's in on it. Well, Brandi, the whole world's not in on it. There's plenty of people and your family that it's happening, but they are not. It's not happening to them in real time. They're seeing it like you're seeing it,
Yeah.
and so
And
they're being pseudo psychiatrists and saying you need help and all that, and so I've been there and done that.
yeah, they want me to be quiet now, and I'm like, there is no way I can be quiet. I have 5 things that I filed today with them, and I'm gonna go
With
as
who?
hard
Tell
as
us
I can.
about that. What'd you file today?
They're the official complaints. I did the one with the jail, the 2 we already talked about, the illegal search and the
You
naked
filed this with
Pasco County.
their public integrity or internal affairs.
Yes. And then
That's the fox
I'm
guard in the hen
going
house.
I mean, I figured I'd start there. I have the list of them, and then maybe get some media attention and an attorney, because each one is just, I can't believe it. And this is just 2018 and 19.
Well, I think parading you in front of how many male officers were there, and how many other people around when you were out there stark naked? Were you outside or inside the building?
No, we were in our cell for the night, and they
Right.
came in with the guns out and demanded. I'm in communication with the cellmate who was right with me. There was probably 25, 30 officers that came in with their guns out and made all of us get naked and go outside.
Outside, naked,
Yes,
outside of the building.
yes, we had to take the uniform off as we stood in our cell, then line up. They all of us naked in a line outside, and sat on the blacktop for about 10, 15 minutes while they searched the jail.
These are some perverts, aren't they? Yeah, telling you. Um, I'm going to send you the link. It's going to be posted in the comment section as well. So, Brandi, we're going to try to get the attention that you want. Okay.
Okay.
So I have the first time we spoke, I reached out to some journalists, and now there's another big journalist that's in the fold. And what else is he or she? And what he's looking for is to be able to tie this, and I hate to use this word, gang stalking. This is the word the program uses. They gave that to us. And so if you've heard that word, gang stalking.
Yes. Yes.
When you hear, and so many sites, and most of them you see, especially on Facebook, are phony. And they'll be talking about gang stalkers, but what they're saying, it's double speak. If did you read Orwell's 1984? They had, it was like the truth police, and you would go there, and that's where you found out everything, the truth about everything. But whatever they told you, it was right the opposite. So when you hear them say gangs, they're calling the victims gang stalkers. And so this FBI program, I've sent you that link.
Mm-hmm.
It's person of interest, a targeted person of interest,
Mm-hmm.
and this is ran through the COPS program. It's on the web page of the Department of Justice. This is not some urban legend of nut jobs thinking that a group of people is insulting. So ignore, you'll have clowns that come out and say that. But this particular journalist is said, well, I don't dispute that certain people are targeted for certain reasons, but I have trouble putting law enforcement involved in that. I don't know why he or she's having a problem with that. Apparently, they haven't looked at Pasco County, because what's going on in Pasco County will, in fact, change the way they do business nationwide. And you're right there and hopefully what we're doing here in North Mississippi. But you're in the epicenter of that. And I'm going to tell you, I was traveling Florida, and right after that lawsuit had been filed, it was at night, and I got off the exit there, and there were blue lights everywhere. Usually it's some ass clown parade. Nothing's going on for me, and I said, "Man, what is going on? I'm gonna go out here and record this." It was Pasco County. It's Pasco County Sheriff's, and I said, that was I needed to be here, and for such a time as this.
Yeah.
And so, and I've talked about it, and so I've waited a while to get you on here, but you were drawing Social Security. Why
Yes.
are you not on Social Security anymore? How did they manage to? How did you lose that?
I got a letter after 13 years, the end of December, stating that I can work now. So I
Based on
was
what?
it's just what the letters, I have to find an attorney to combat that too. So it was like the beginning of this year, everything, I literally lost everything. No one in
You
this
you
county
you
can help.
don't have to combat. I'll tell you when we get off the air what you can do there. I'll help you with that. Okay, I'll help you with that. So don't get discouraged about it. I know it's discouraging. They did give you any reason or
No, it just, they did a review. I sent everything in and made
I
the
mean,
call, and
what they ask you? Did they ask you? Is it
um it was just, I guess, typical paperwork. It had been a review. I don't know. I was in a car accident. I have a metal rod in my leg. So nothing
yeah
had changed. I don't,
right?
nothing had
Well, I
changed.
can tell you. I can tell you. We'll talk after we go off air, and I'm gonna help you with that. Now, so that didn't help, and so you had a house and so forth. What? Tell us about that. What's taking place?
Well,
No
the reason
income.
is because I felt heavily, um, I gotta be careful what I say. I know I was being watched. I know that there was
But it's okay to say that.
the
We
things going on in my house
right.
to I even woke up with bruises across my legs, and a
Okay.
split open tongue. I drank out of a
Okay.
water bottle in my house. And what am I going to do? I can't call the police or get help. I just dealt with it. And it just,
They break you. See, that's the reason the police do what they do. They want to put you in a state of helplessness and hopelessness. In other words, we abuse them and gaslight them, dismiss them, marginalize them, disrespect them, and then when our crash dummies are in their house and breaking in their house, stealing their food, poisoning them, or at least making them feel they've been poisoned, moving things, stealing things,
mhm,
she's going to call us and we're going to take her to the nut house. So she's
yeah,
not going to call us. So, Brandi, here's what the end game for this, for you, me, and everyone else
okay,
is to annihilate the victim. That's to reduce something to nothing. For you to give up, to take your own life, to die by self implosion.
yes,
This now, you have to decide they are not going to get that. They wish they'd have got that with me. They wish that they'd have got that. But I'm going to tell you, I didn't sign up for this program, nor did you.
hmm,
And by God, I'm going to give them their money's worth.
yes,
And I'm going to bring my A game. And tomorrow, they better not stop because if they all started playing nice today, I would recommend not doing that because I'm not letting it go. Because the day that you touched my heart, the day that those years and that destruction, I can't get that back.
yeah,
But to think that I'm allowing you to continue to victimize other people. There's other people out there, Brandi, that are
Yeah.
dead now.
Yeah.
People I know personally. By the grace of God, you're here today talking about this. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. And I believe that God helped me get through everything up until this point
He
to,
didn't help you, honey. He brought you through
yeah,
it.
yes. And I'm not giving up and I'm not going to let them win. I have gone through too much with them and I'm just not. So that's why I was happy I got those a start today because they do. They get you to a place where you're hopeless. You have no one to talk. And but I'm
But
not
you
letting,
do now. You do.
yeah,
Listen, you got me, and that's. They said, well, I was hoping it's a little higher, but you and you know, and I know a lot of people, and I want to tell you, there's nothing that you can say that 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 my friends will say, "Oh, that's bizarre," or "She's a nut." That what they're going to say is, "Yep, me too, me
mm,
too." So you're not alone. You're
okay.
not alone. And so these things that there's most of the things, Brandi, I don't talk about them. And the reason I don't is because they want us to talk about them. They want us to talk about, especially the Area 51 element of this, the things you see and you hear. Don't fall for that because this is my go to analogy. I've seen Copperfield, Siegfried and Roy twice, Penn and Teller, Chris Angel. These are marvelous magicians and illusionists. Now, Copperfield, I saw the 747 right there, and it disappeared, but nobody touched it. He's not magic. That plane did not disappear. It was an illusion. Now, now I'm not going to spend the rest of my life. How in the hell did he do that? Here's where I am. I said, well, you know what? I don't care how he did it, but I know who did it. It's Copperfield. He's the man behind the curtain. When we get the man behind the curtain, Chris Nakoa and his
Yes.
henchmen, then all the Fruit Loop shit goes with it.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why they want us to self to self assassinate by talking about the crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We'll mention it, but that's not my platform. My platform are these corrupt people that are in a position of trust that think it's okay to violate your civil and constitutional rights
Yes.
and to make that phone call for Social Security to cut you off. That was part of it. You had to sell your house,
Yes.
and so you can't get a job,
No.
and you don't. I assume you can't get a job, so you don't know, like many of us, where our next meal's coming from.
Right.
And I see myself in the mirror, and I don't need to be worried about my next meal, really. But but I mean, I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to tell you this. I'm not worried about it because I'm here because God has seen fit for me to be here, and anybody that knows me knows that. Had to give it to him. How many times I've been locked up? They've towed my car from my home and put me in jail this last time, forced a stroke. I was hospitalized for 2 days because they wouldn't give me medication. It was all to traumatize me, all to drag me because I dare put them on blast and go public. And I'm not going to
Right.
stop exercising my constitutional rights.
Right.
I've got a backbone. And I think that, Brandi, that they hadn't really calculated this thing properly because when you've got, I've lost everything that I had. It sounds like you have too.
Yes.
And what, and you've got a good head on your shoulders.
Thank you.
And you've got people like you and I that are going after them.
Yes.
And guess what? We've got to lose not one damn thing because you took it, and they've got everything to lose.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you how you like those odds, because hey, so what? Lose my car, my house, my reputation. You got that. I'm
Yeah.
coming after yours. I'm coming
Yeah.
after yours. And so that let that empower you,
Yeah.
because you haven't seen your best day. I'll promise you that. There are people across the country and globally that need to hear what you have to say, that are struggling like you are, and that want to fight. Now, we are Citizen Reporter with a Brady list. Now, if you're familiar with that, I'm going to send you that link.
Okay.
This is where you report police misconduct, parading you out uh, like you were trying out for Jubilee or something at the jailhouse.
Mm-hmm.
All of this stuff, and this becomes a part of their permanent record. It becomes exculpatory evidence. So when that cop gives a citation, it goes to court. He's got that Brady list there, the attorney, and his integrity is no good. And this is the only thing that keeps these people in the mix is their integrity. And integrity is like virginity. Once it's gone, it's gone. And
Yes.
so Pasco County needs someone to keep checks and balances on the cops, lawyers, prosecutors, and judges. And this is on the official national Brady list. It's part of their permanent record. And it triggers, it'll go to the bar association, the oversight, and so forth. It's in there. This is how we level the playing field. Like those complaints that you make them, but you can also go on there. I'm gonna say that you can go through our portal, and you can encourage other people to do it. The other
Yes.
people that were there with you, and they can report anonymous. Some people don't want their name, but they know your name.
Okay.
I want my name on everything. I want them to know,
Yes. Yes.
because they know that Brandi Short is uh, actively building the database for the Brady list. They know exactly what that is. That's
Yeah.
between having a job, not having a job, getting elected, not getting elected, having cases and not having cases, being insurable or not being insurable.
Mhm.
That can there's this is not just how many likes they got on Facebook. This is the real world. That's the Brady list, and this is how we level the playing field.
Okay.
Florida is right with it. Pinellas County is another place.
Yeah.
Uh, and of course, Lee County. You know, there's some counties there. It's not as bad as others, but Pasco County, you are in the epicenter, and there's a lot of big things happening there. And I want you to be part of that big thing happening there. Not the You're not the basket case that they have painted you as. I didn't believe that from the first time I spoke with you, and now I'm absolutely convinced that I am correct. So
Something.
you've are you living with your parents or
Yeah, I'm close. Yeah. My mother.
no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, how's that working out? Well,
It's a roof over my
yeah,
head. I'm grateful for
I
that.
know, I know, I understand that, and I would love to be with my mother, but whew, she would. There's just no house. Versailles isn't big enough for two families, you know, because especially you, because you're crazy and a hellraiser and all the other stuff. They got to watch you. And so I'm just, I'm saying that tongue in cheek, but we get that bad rap, and that's but you're not the only one. There's I won't call their names, but people that have lost careers and everything else.
Yes.
Now, you're what when your dad was sheriff, and we're going to try to wrap this up because I'll go all night. When he was sheriff, what do you know about the program? Was he kind of the one that brought that in, started back in the 80s?
Yes, I believe so. And it was a special, I guess, investigations unit that targeted individuals. It sounds like
Yeah,
now on steroids. Yeah.
exactly. It used to be called COINTELPRO. The FBI and Congress banned that, and they just they rebranded it. So, what is your dad doing now?
He is retired. He's in the area. Um, I he,
How's the relationship with him? Does he speak to you, or is it a
we
love hate
do
relationship?
we don't really communicate about this. We communicate, but not. I get no help basically from my family at all.
Well, I mean, is there really anything he could do? I mean, because
No, no,
they don't
and
really like him either.
no,
I
right,
wouldn't
and
think.
yeah, I believe it happened to him. I mean, he had a nightmare for the trial and the
Right.
lawsuit against the
Yeah.
St. Pete Times. So it just seems like it's happening again with
And I
you.
read that. I did read that, by the way, and it was really minor uh in comparison to what Nicole is facing. I mean, they have been torturing children and families.
Yes.
So um maybe you can so when we get this video up that hey, let your dad see it. We'd love to
Okay.
have him. I would love to hear
Okay.
uh his his uh his story. I know he has a story, and obviously it takes a lot for a person. How big is Pasco County? What's the population?
Oh gosh, it is. What is it? 700? I don't know. It's growing. It's growing fast, rapidly.
So close to a million.
Yeah, I would say 700,000, a million. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a coastal town or is it landlocked?
It's coastal.
So you got a beach.
The Gulf. No, the Gulf. We're the Gulf side.
The Gulf. Yeah, that's the best side. Yeah, of course.
Yes. Just
Yeah.
north of Tampa. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Um, so that's not just a minor feat to uh, to be able to get elected as a sheriff, and it's a big deal to have to leave office under those terms. But that's not that's not the end of it. That's not the
Right.
end of it. Thank
Yeah.
God he's not there today, and that thing would have been, and he would have had that on his hands. So that was a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
But I'm going to say that he does hold a lot of information. He knows a lot of things, and I think that that is probably one of the reasons that his own family has been targeted. But they're not targeting your mother, are they? Unless they're just using you to target her.
No, I wouldn't say no. No, I would say I'm pretty much the only one being targeted.
I don't know
Yes.
why they go after the siblings. This is you're again you're all alone on that. You're all alone on that. It's I don't know what the deal is with that.
Yeah.
There was probably at one time speed ticket, anything, no problem. They'd take care of it, right? Those
Yes.
days are over.
Oh
Those
yeah.
days are over.
They ended in 2007.
So,
Yeah.
what did your dad? How did he feel about his daughter being stripped naked at a jail that he used to run and paraded outside? What does he know about that? What did he have to
No,
say?
I did not tell him about that yet. No.
I
He's
think you should talk.
77, so I tried
Well,
to.
I know, but you know what? He's at that right age. He's at that right
Yes.
age that uh, hopefully he has no filter and
Yes.
wisdom. But I will promise you that it won't sit well with him. So we're not trying to get him worked up,
Right.
but I would like him to set the record straight. And it's not about him. We're not here to attack him. We're talking about this program, and we're talking about this new regime of law enforcement that is in there. That not only did his daughter, but God only knows who else. Has there anybody died in that jail lately?
Um, just when not that I know of recently, no, but I know I come into contact with people who have been subjected. They tell me electronically in the jail. In it's just sick what you hear, and and I believe them, but
Yeah,
that's what they want you to sound crazy, so no one will believe them, and they lose hope, and it's
exactly. Well, I can tell you that there's a group of people that are doing what we're doing in Oklahoma City, and I forgot the name, but they'll be on that front page of that Brady link that I send you. And what they're doing is they're focusing on the Oklahoma City jail, the abuses inside of the jail, and they're encouraging family members to speak with their family that's in the jail, or they can report this stuff because it's like Auschwitz, and they're exposing that. Also, about a month and a half ago, a judge ordered the sheriff of LA County to testify, and he testified in front of a panel of an oversight committee. They had the RAND Corporation there, and they also had uh, Johan Jorgensen, the owner of the National Brady List. Johan told me this. They wanted him there to document this as well. Of all the subgroups of gangs within the sheriff's department, Bloods, Crips, and all this, and their, I mean, criminal enterprises within that. And then Phoenix, Arizona, I've been to Maricopa County. Oh my God. I couldn't get into the Maricopa County courthouse because they had issues with my service animal. She's a pug. And so they had 15, 20 officers there in full regalia, locked arm in arm. Wasn't going to let me in there. This was a problem. And they're the only major metropolitan police department that does not have an independent oversight board. So
Mhm.
we've got an investigative reporter there, is my hero, and he just outed 1,800 corrupt and bad cops in Phoenix, Arizona. They're all going on the Brady list.
Okay.
And so Maricopa County is getting their asses turned out. I told them when I was there, you hadn't seen the last of me. And we want to do the same thing to Pasco County.
Yes.
I don't want Pasco County to ever do what they did to you and the other people there, targeting these families, these children.
Yes.
And I believe, Brandi, that you get everything in life that you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want.
Yeah.
We have to put what's happened to us is what's happened. That is those are our bruises and those are our scars. But by God, no more. And
Yes.
we are empowered, and we can empower other people, and we can change this.
Yes,
And
sir.
so we do that by working together.
Yes.
So parting shots, anything else that you feel like that you need to say that you didn't get to say this time? It will be on. I want to do this again. I don't
Yes.
ever give people enough time to talk, but I know you had a lot to talk about.
I appreciate, I'm so glad that I found you. I mean, I really do. I'm not going to let them get me down. I'm not. I know that's what the last 5 months was all about. And I'm not going to do it because there are so many people out here hurting, and it's just sad. It is. So I'm going to do what I can, and I'm
And I'm
not.
going to be on you. Now, you already know that from dealing with me that I'm not abrasive on purpose, but um, I'm I'm gonna be on you. Okay.
Okay.
I
All
don't.
right.
I won't. When I want to talk, and I'm not gonna let you run under a rock.
Okay.
And but I know what you're going through, and let me tell you, don't try to 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 come to grips with any of this. I couldn't. I tried to, and it was really literally one day. I was at a break. Have you ever been at that breaking point? But it was
No.
just
Oh, yes.
that
Yeah.
breaking. It was just my life's over.
Mm-hmm.
Where I have anywhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so God said, he said, if you would just sit down and shut up and listen to me, because I was saying I'm isolated, I'm alone, nobody understands me. And I had to be reminded. Jesus said, in order for you to be mine, you have to deny you're alone. I am here with you. Those fake friends that have ghosted you, that you thought were friends, that you don't hear from anymore, that when the dust settled and smoke cleared, nobody was standing there, but God was standing there.
Yes, absolutely.
And he said, if you will just sit down and quit trying to figure it out, because you can't. You're trying to understand evil, and you can't understand grace. You sure can't understand evil. He said, I will give you all the answers. They're already in front of you, but I'm going to give you those answers. You're not going to get it all one day because you can't handle it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, it was just the whole world was taken off my shoulders. And I said, well, okay. And I said another thing. I don't know how I'm going to make it financially. And I said, you know what? All that's on you too. He said, thank you. I've been it this time. People said, well, he's got good faith. No, I've been it. I said, if it goes south, God, it's on you. And you know my faith is real, and I really have given it to you. I'm not even going to worry about it. My ex-wife said, how can you worry? I said, God's going to take care of it. She was looking at me. Oh, I know that sounds crazy. People love to talk about God until you talk about faith. Then it's crazy. And I'm going to tell you, Brandi, God has been faithful. I don't know how he does it. It always comes from but he takes care of me.
Yes.
And so for us to worry and for us to say we're alone and for us to be in fear, all of this is a sin. And God does not want you there, doesn't want me there.
Yes.
He sees all of this. He
Yes,
understands all this, and he doesn't think it's funny.
No, he does not. No.
You will let him know what he's gonna do. He's gonna just like when Ziegler and hit when their camp was raided and everything, their children, their women, their animals, everything was taken by a huge army. And they fled into the wilderness. He prayed. He said, God, what do you want me to do? He said, I mean, we're mad, but Mike, what can we do? And you know what he said? He said, you go back into the enemy's camp and you take what they stole. Now, he didn't tell them how they was going to do it. He didn't and they did it. And the Bible tells us that they not only went back in there, they got everything. Not one piece of clothing, not one animal was short. They got everything. And so that is my proclamation. We're going to go back into the enemy's camp. We're going to take what they stole.
Yes.
And we're going to show other people how to take back what the devil has taken from us. And this is an evil program. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right. Okay. I'm going to end it here, but hang on a minute because I want to talk to you, folks.
Okay. All right.
Let me close it out here. I'm going to post the link to the Brady list. Let me hear from you. And we rely on your support, viewer support. And folks, share this, subscribe. Until next time, God bless you.